Why men fall into the trap of matriarchy. At a time when everyone seemingly dons tattered, arrogant souls, when, in order to feast on the height of their self-seen greatness, everyone yields to their usual brainwashed tropes. In the matriarchy, there are two, the grand career and the grand household. The grand career is not a job, but something more glorious. A plumber is a job, but a lawyer is a career. Never mind that a plumber can get good money and adds more to society than many lawyers. The difference between a job and career these days is image. Women who worship the image will excitedly pursue these careers, but in the end, a career in that traditional sense is often a losing situation. It is the trap of the wage slave. The grand household, notice how I did not say grand family, is the big McMansion. This is the perfect wedding. And this is the 1.6 kids with a 1.1 dog. Not only women desire this, but so do many men. Some prefer the grand household over the grand career and vice versa. Many women want both. But both of these are life not coming from your soul, from you being you, but from a pre-existing template. I wonder, how can people live their lives refusing to be who they are, by rejecting their own soul and passion, by desiring a pre-made life? The answer is that they all see the grand career and the grand household as the success. Everyone is scared of being seen a loser, so they all desire success, which is why women's biggest shame tactic is saying a guy lives with mom at home. While there is nothing to envy in this man's position, it is highly preferable than to be a man convicted of murder, of crimes, of furious sins, yet these are the men many skanks desire due to the rebellious image they hold. Is a grand career the true success? Maybe, if it is truly what you love to do. But keep in mind that there is no job security these days. You can easily get fired from your job, and no matter how much money you earn on your grand career, the owners of the business always make more. You will never become rich by having a grand career, unless you become some star like a famous actor, and the probability of that occurring is very low. Why should I invest my life in making someone else rich? Why not invest my life in making myself rich? Is the grand household the true success? Again, maybe, if it is what you truly want. But also keep in mind that everyone else has the same cookie-cutter home with a similar dog. If this wasn't the case, then why would sitcoms prove to be so universal? Also, again, this is the life of image. It is the picture of the family with dog sitting on the fireplace mantle. Can your life be defined by a picture? Many people think so. Women get sucked into the matriarchy for the obvious reasons. But why do men, especially in the Anglosphere, get sucked into the matriarchy? 1. They have no passion in life. They have no dreams, no goals, no vision. They do have sexual desire, which is the closest they've felt to passion. In fact, they misuse the word passion as to mean sexual desire. If your passion in life is only women, you will be sucked into the matriarchy. 2. They have small souls and desire validation. Sexual desire can be treated in numerous ways: masturbation, pornos, prostitutes, visiting other countries, and so on and so on. Women will employ shame tactics against any way that doesn't benefit them. The way is her way. Marriage is usually the only proper way for her. In the last few decades, even the player is now considered proper by women. Many women do want no strings attached sex, and players easily provide it. Players also are the ones who desire validation. They seek only sexual validation, however, and, like the nice guy, have a very small soul, since they are so easily manipulated even though they think this is the other way around. 3. They see progress only with their eyes. Many people are not interested in becoming rich. They are only interested in looking rich. This is why many go into massive debt buying a fancy new car, huge house, or something else trivial. Real wealth is time, but you cannot see time, so people never consider their most precious asset. Although I love my father much, he was very foolish with his time. Where I grew up, we had acres that had to be cut. I hated cutting all that lawn. My father, however, loved it. The reason why was that he could see the difference of cutting. This explains why I think many people love yard work or housework. It also explains why people invest hours into MMORPGs, but not the usual video game. Other people can see their improvements in the MMORPG, while in the usual video game, one remains invisible. The matriarchy worships the visible, not the invisible. The visible components are all celebrated: materialism, the compassion traits of religion, but not the invisible, the thinking, the intelligence, or even the religion's worship of the spirit. Bodybuilding gains so much fandom from girls because they can see it. Bodybuilding to me is much easier than, say, reading ancient history or understanding business. Yet, the matriarchy yields to the visible, not the invisible. Men who think progress is only detected through the eyes are destined for the matriarchy. 4. Men desire the XYZ lifestyle. As children, through school and through jobs, we are taught to think in the XYZ fashion. This means that in order to reach the conclusion, we must do X, then Y, and then finally Z. It is the step-by-step book. This is also the instruction manual. Many men find this linear style thinking relaxing and orderly. But this is the thinking of a slave, not a free man. In freedom, there is no XYZ life. There is no ladder. Men who think this way yearn for a system to work within. With women, they want to work the system and win with women doing the XYZ steps. On So Suave, I was constantly flooded with private messages asking, "Why don't you give me detailed instructions? Stop it with this generalized talk." What they were truly asking me was, "Tell me the rules that are to be obeyed to have success." I informed them, "It is time for you to create your own rules for life. If you do not, you will enter the women's rules by default. These women's rules are the matriarchy." 5. Many men worship sex and female companionship as if it were the greatest achievement in life, that it alone makes them a man. I am always amazed at the vagina worship by young males. However, do not bother to criticize this view, as these types of men are very sensitive and will lash back. Don't you enjoy getting laid? These men foolishly believe that winning with women is the same as winning with life. It isn't. You can win with women and still lose in life. Somehow, someway, placing one's male appendage into a woman's yahoo has been made out to be the height of manhood. I blame movies and modern music for this. The only sexual revolution has been the complete annihilation of fertility. I get a chuckle when young people today say that people in the 40s and 50s were puritanical and didn't have sex. Where did the baby boob generation come from, after all? It was common to have families of 10 or higher a couple centuries ago. Before the rise of modern media, manhood was defined by the number of children one had. Poorer countries still hold this notion. This proved to be a problem for infertile men, no doubt. George Washington was a good example of this. While he could not prove his manhood by fertility, he chose the battlefield and relentlessly pursued honor to obtain it. If one worships sex and finds that as the passageway into manhood, one is destined for the matriarchy because you give women all the power to define your manliness. 6. Men desire the matriarchy because they want to be seen as a winner and laugh at the losers. The matriarchy does its fine share of shaming. Generally, any man who chooses not to participate and devote his free time with women will be shamed in some way. Any time not spent with or for women must be earned. If you want to watch a football game, you must earn it by previously doing some deed for the wife or girlfriend. These men will believe everything women say about the so-called losers of the matriarchy. They will laugh at the virgins, label them as losers, and mock them. And these virgins have done no wrong to them except to choose not to interact with women on that level. They will mock the starving artist or struggling entrepreneur for the fantastic wage slave that they are. The matriarchy has a defined set of winners and losers. Many men desire to be on top to laugh at losers. Pointing out the matriarchy to these men is the hardest because they don't want to see that they might actually be losers. They don't want to possibly believe that a female has been controlling and dictating their life's terms to them. This desire for matriarchal pride and relishing of matriarchal scorn is for its losers will easily swallow men into the matriarchy, and these are the hardest to break free. What is the solution to not be sucked into the matriarchy? It is to wear the armor of humility, resisting the temptation to have an arrogant soul, and to have a sword of your dreams, where you be who you are. With this, a man becomes invincible to the matriarchy, and other men watch at the demigod in disbelief. How does he do it? Why does he walk so confidently? It is because he followed the Pookish first commandment. Be who you are. Work for your dreams, or you'll end up working for someone else's.